Welcome to the Life Jacket Podcast, where we talk about topics to help you get through the waves of life. I'm Bless,
I'm AJ.
and of course, we're always going to start with a wow. What is that? A win of the week. My win of the week is I got a dog. I adopted a dog, a little 3-year-old Staffy. Um, it's a big commitment, but luckily, the dog is well trained. It's like man's best friend. So, got me a new little friend in town. What about your win of the week?
I bought a drone. I've always enjoyed seeing people fly drones, how high they go, and just to take different content. So I invested and bought myself a drone. I love it. I can't wait till it gets warm out. I can actually really fly it, and I can get real cool with the navigating and how to move
Yeah,
it around. So definitely looking forward to learning how to navigate a drone more.
yeah,
2025. So that's my win of the week.
that's dope. That's dope. So, going to our topic, it's crazy because I was thinking about this on the drive up. A 2-year-old's first word, most of the time, is no. But now, today, as we get older, we don't understand how to say it, right? So, our topic today is learning how to say no. And what do you think about that, AJ?
Uh, Man, listen. Okay, so y'all gonna know how to say no in 2025, and we're not explaining. No explanation after. Hey, do you mind watching my dog for 3 weeks while I go on vacation? Nope. Hey, do you mind drive me to the airport at 6 a.m.? I gotta catch a flight. Nope. Hey, do you want to hang out this weekend? Nope. Hey, can you run to the mall with me quick to help me grab something? No. It is no. We're saying no in 2025. We're not explaining why. You're not getting a well because or the reason why. We're protecting boundaries. We're not people pleasing. If we don't want to do something in 2025, we're saying no. Two letters. No is the sentence. That's the answer. Is no.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah, people often struggle with saying no, and that's why we're talking about it today because people end up fearing rejection, um, conflict, and disappointing others. When you say no, if someone asks you for something, you say no. You're not saying no. You have to be say no for you because when you say yes, you're saying yes for them, even if you don't want to do it. And
Yeah.
it's rooted from like the approval and the validation, which kind of stems from the societal conditions or past experiences where saying no might end up turning into like a negative thing. And so we have to really get into a point where if you don't want to do something and someone's asking you a favor, you do not have to say yes. You can say that 2-letter word, which is no.
That's it. And I think what happens is we're scared to hurt our friends. We don't want to hurt their feelings. We don't want to hop in their bag or why you acting this way, why you acting weird. Is nah, I'm just protecting my peace. I'm protecting my boundaries. And you don't owe anybody an explanation in life. And I think that's a life lesson a lot of people have to learn as we get older. You don't owe anyone anything. I don't have to tell you I ain't gonna curse, but you know what? I
Hmm.
don't. If
Yeah.
it's no, it's no. I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. You don't have to be my friend anymore. You can hop in your bag, you can feel some type of way, but we're not people pleasing in 2025. We're not doing anything we don't want to do in 2025. We're setting boundaries in 2025. We're saying no. And it's you have to kind of condition yourself to say no, especially if you're a
Hmm.
people pleaser and you're used to always, well, yeah, I can do it. Or for example, you go to the gym at 7 a.m., but consistently, but your friend wants you to drop them off at 6 a.m. You're like, oh, well, I'll do it, but it's going to throw off my whole day. And I'm giving an example of somebody, if you're trying to transition your way into no, it's like you let them know, hey, listen, I'm going to the gym every day at 7 a.m. I'm trying to stay consistent on this pattern. It might be better if you call an Uber. That way, it's not that I hear what you're saying, but I got to stay on top of I got to worry about me. I got to
Hmm.
put myself first. And in this situation, I want to be putting myself first. And if your friend gets mad and you're so, well, why can't you do this? It's like, maybe that's not your friend. Maybe you got to evaluate that friendship.
That's facts. And we're not and don't get us wrong. We're not saying say no to everything, you know what I mean? But say no, you have to evaluate the question or the favor and then think about am I going to be pissed off that I did this later down the line? And if you kind of already know that you're going to regret that yes, then that's the point where you definitely want to say no. Like you said, like cause you, if you wake up every single day and have that habit of going to the gym, if you don't hit the gym that day, and you know you don't want to do it too, like it's not like, yeah, I want to because I need to do X, Y, and Z for them. That's a different. But if you already in your head have that I don't want to do it, then just don't do it. Especially because it's a favor.
And them no's get hard, especially when it's like your parents, your mom, your grandparents, especially older figures, and they think you just have to do whatever they tell you to do or they want you. But it's like, no, I'm not. I'm grown. I'm not doing that. And that could be that could be challenging for some, especially if you come from a very authoritarian household, um, or you've been saying yes and doing stuff the same way for so long. People are so conditioned for you to do it. When you start saying those boundaries, sticking up for yourself, it's gonna throw some people off. They're like, "Why are you acting like that?" Or you got an attitude, or why are you acting this way? It's like, no,
Hmm.
I'm just setting boundaries for myself.
Yeah,
That's
facts.
that's why I'm saying no. But off topic, our
Oh
our,
man.
our new segment for those that are just jumping in for season 3. If you take a woman on a first date,
Ooh.
would you rather take her to dinner, or would you rather take her to like an interactive activity?
That's a good one. So I'm gonna say I'd rather take it to an interactive activity. I feel like, for me personally, it's just opinion. Don't kill me on the internet now. I think that like a dinner is kind of like interviewish
Hmm.
type of the point where like I'm across from you and I'm eating and I'm trying to figure out words to say or whatever the case may be. Where something interactive, like we'll say bowling, playing pool, it gives you space for that awkward silence or whatever,
Hmm.
especially if it's like a first date, you know what I mean?
Right.
Where it gives you that space to maybe regather your thoughts, say the right things or whatever the case may be. Whereas, you know, that's just me. And plus I'm an active person. I'd rather do something active than, go to dinner. That's not what I'm gonna do.
Cool, cool. Okay.
Yeah. We
That's
want to hear from you guys, what guys and girls, what would you do?
yeah, right. Let us know in the comments. Would you rather go to Dame and Buster's, go bowling, or would you rather go to dinner? And don't put Ruth's Chris either. First day, don't do that.
And then now we have our life jacket question of the day. So we have these beautiful life jackets, and they come with skills. So
Mhm.
we're depositing skills into these life jackets so that way we can stay afloat with the waves of life. And so, what is, I guess you could say, a life skill that you are thankful for that you would not change, and definitely you're going to keep that on
Mhm.
throughout the rest of your life.
I would say probably be an extrovert. I call it a life skill. I'm very extrovert. I love people. That's just something I just can't help. Like I get energy from people when I'm around people. I'll always be that way. I'll never really be introverted because I like people. I like helping people, so that kind of
Hmm.
goes hand in hand. So that's definitely like a life skill for me. Like I have a lot of friends. Um, People tell me all the time, like you have so many friends. You know, so many people all over, and it's just a skill I have. And it's easy for me to extrovert. Like some people, I guess if you're introvert, it would make sense. Like, yeah, I get drained around all those people. I'm like, no, I'm like my battery charges up.
Hmm.
Like I'm charged up when I get around so many people. So that's definitely a life skill for myself that I always keep no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just being extrovert and always being myself.
That's crazy. I'm completely opposite. I'm an introvert. Like, leave me alone. I'll be able to be myself, unless around certain people and stuff. And so, like for example wise, going back to the this regular segment of saying no, what's a time where you had to say no to somebody,
Time I had to say
or
no
or didn't say no
or
and
didn't say
regretted
no.
it?
A time I didn't say no was when we had a family reunion a couple years ago in Atlanta. I did not want to go. I did not want to go at all, and kind of got forced into going. Or they like my family. They're like, "Oh, please go, please go." Miserable. I should have stayed right home. I, you got some family you just don't want to be around.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah.
fake for real. I don't really want to be around y'all. Um, and I was old enough to be like, I'm not going.
Hmm.
I don't want to go. And that was a whole 3 days I could have been so productive, but I was stuck around. some some fake family and
Yeah, yeah,
people I really don't want to be around. So that was definitely I wish I should have just said no and not have went, but
yeah.
it is what it is. How about you?
Oh man, I ended up loaning a family member some money,
Mm,
and for me, if y'all don't know, I'm a stickler with money, and what I mean by that is I work hard for my money, and so if you're asking me for any type of money, that means you don't have it, and that means I have it. So don't get an attitude like, oh, when I ask for that money back, because obviously it wasn't enough for you to have in the first place. And so my no in my head, because I know how I am. I know how I am. You don't pay me back, we kind of like you kind of dead to me until you do. Like you know me. Like
straight up.
it's facts. And so
Mm-hmm.
I ended up giving family members some money, and they said they were going to pay me back on a certain day. And when we or want something, we remember that day. We remember that
Mm-hmm.
day, that time, everything. And
Mm-hmm.
so I reached out to the person. Oh man, well this came up. Oh man, well that came up. And to be honest, in my head, I didn't care about what came up because you owe me the money, and I knew I should have said no because I didn't want to give it to them anyway. But I was like, ah, let me help them out. God's blessed me, blah blah blah. But I knew I had an attitude. I was sick. I was sick for a minute, and that excuses and stuff, you just don't want to hear it at the time. So
Yeah, I think it's funny when somebody owes you money and then they get mad at you for asking. It's like, yo, like, what's up with you? Like that's happened to everyone. Like, you're like, hey, you gonna pay me back? And then they get an attitude at you. I'm like, you owe me money.
yeah, yeah,
What,
yeah,
what you getting so mad for? You know what I'm saying? So that definitely money's a big thing. You just can't loan everybody money.
yeah, no,
Or you're like, listen, I need 200. Well, I got 50.
yeah, yeah.
Let's start off there. See if you pay me back there. And then
Hmm.
if you do, okay, maybe next time. But you gotta be real cautious about loaning people money.
Yeah, you got to understand who you're loaning to and stuff like that. My mom always told me after that situation, I called her and vent about everything. She was like, well, if you got to be able to loan what you're comfortable of losing
Mm,
in certain situations with
hmm.
certain people, because you might not get it back, and then that could just break a whole,
Everything.
you know, relationship right then and there. Because this was a family member, and so, but yeah, that was my that was my no
Yeah,
moment.
nothing like family for sure. And I think another point too is like when you start saying no and you start setting boundaries, you're going to lose friends.
Facts.
Is you have to just come to terms with that. When you stick up for yourself, when people learn that they can't use you, when you like you say you set boundaries, you're going to lose friends because people realize they can't take advantage of you anymore, and they start looking at you like, oh, why are you acting different? Nah, I'm just sticking up for myself. I'm setting boundaries. So just be prepared
Yeah.
when you start to say no to people that they're used to you saying yes to all the time. They may not be a friend anymore. They may distance themselves, and that's cool. That just means that they were never in your best interest from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, when you find out that someone values you for your compliance and your convenience,
Mm-hmm.
never really your friend,
No.
right? And once you set those boundaries, which is, in my opinion, a form of self care that we'll be hopping on the next episode about, but you know, that's your way of saying yes to you,
Mm-hmm.
and your true friends are going to be able to sit back and realize that you said no, not because you have anything against them, but because you're looking for your best interest at the end of the day. And like you said, you're going to lose friends. It's inevitable, but were they really your friends at the beginning? So that's where it's a great opportunity to find who's in that small knit circle that of friends that you actually have.
Literally, and another point, and this is not a relationship podcast, by the way. But if you are in a relationship, you know, with a woman, you got to kind of set those boundaries at the beginning. Like, this is something I don't. This is something I don't do. I don't tolerate this. I don't do this. You got to set those, like you said, those boundaries. Like, no, even with your friends from the beginning, it's a no. This is what I don't tolerate. This is what I'm not doing. I don't like doing this. I don't want to go here, etc. So Sorry, we're not a relationship podcast. My bad. But I just felt like that was an important segment because I know that happens too. You
Yeah.
know, people we know in relationships, like
Yeah. And
having a hard time saying no.
the people that understand your no, that's just going to build the relationship stronger.
Mhm.
And you're setting that boundaries. If I'm in any type of relationship with anybody, I set the boundaries from the beginning so there's no confusion later on. Like, no, not doing that. No, just no. It's easy. And you don't really have to explain why. I think that a lot of people, they want to get into the point where that people pleasing. Well,
Mhm.
no, but I want to do this, or no, but I can't. Just no.
Yeah,
No, no is no.
that's it.
When
No, it's,
when your parents said no when you was 2 3 years old,
that's what it was. It was
exactly,
no.
exactly.
It was no. So I guess before we get out of here, any final thoughts?
My final thought is saying no to others is saying yes to yourself.
Mm.
And remember that your self care and your happiness and your peace within is going to come from a lot more no's than yeses. And what about yourself?
My final thoughts I talked about in the beginning, learning to say no, and that's it. With no, nothing else after. No, because I, no, well, no if, no maybe, no but. It's no. That's it.
Facts, facts. And just to end this segment, once again, like, subscribe, share, comment. Just let's get this engagement going.
Yep.
Let us know what you think about the podcast. And we definitely truly appreciate everyone's feedback. And until next time,
Peace.
see you.